So we're on the home page now, and you can see that my client profile is loaded in the top left corner. The next step is to head into training and biofeedback, and once here we can start to build a new program for myself or the player that I'm working with. So for this player flow, we'll assume that we've identified 2 opportunities for improvement with their swing. One being that they were losing posture early in the swing, really bending over and getting north of 40 degrees of positive torso bend at heel strike. And one note here is that we'll notice good hitters start setting their posture early in the swing, depending on the location of the pitch. So this metric does vary based on pitch and pitch type. But with this player's swing, we noticed that they were losing posture regardless of the pitch location, which meant that in order to get on plane with the ball, especially high pitches, high inside velocity, they had to make big inefficient adjustments in order to do so. So these added movements slowed down their time to contact, caused sequencing issues, and hindered efficient energy transfer in the swing. So in biofeedback, we'll train posture at heel strike, posture and side bend during the turning phase, and then side bend to contact. Our goal is to create an efficient connected swing. And in conjunction with this, I'll be using a PVC pipe. So I'm sure many of the coaches on this call are familiar with the PVC pipe and even use it in their training and coaching. So right now I have a 5-foot PVC pipe that I'll hold across my chest and cross my arms in front of it to kind of keep it in place. And I'll share a video of me training this so you can have a better image if you're still unfamiliar. So we're going to also assume that this player has passed a professional mobility screen and injury screen, and that they're really capable of making these movements in their swing. So let's get into it. So when working with the swing, I'm going to select the yellow icon here. This will allow me to customize a training program for myself or the hitter that I'm working with. And the first drill that we'll add is alignment turn. You can see it pops up on the right, and I'll click the pencil icon to edit this. So I'm going to change the movement name to heel strike. And this is just indicating that this is what I'll train and this is what I'll see at this point in the swing. So I'm going to set torso turn to -15 degrees with a tolerance of 5 degrees. And then I'm going to turn off pelvis turn and turn on forward bend of the torso and set that at 22 degrees with a tolerance of 6 degrees. And remember that this player was getting to 40 degrees of bend in their swing, so this is a big adjustment that they'll be training here. So I'll close that for now. And the next thing we'll set up is positioning for the turn. And because I'm customizing these, I'll add another alignment and just edit this. So I'm going to change the name here to turn and turn on torso turn and torso side bend. So I'm going to set the torso turn to 35 degrees, which is somewhere between first move and contact with a tolerance of 8 degrees. So I'll keep that. And right now we're training for the pitch down the middle. So I'll set this side bend here at 23 degrees with a tolerance of 5. So this position will kind of force me or the player that I'm working with to get on plane really early in that turn. So we'll close that, and then we'll add one last drill here. So now I'll actually choose, I'll choose side bend, and I'll change this to contact, because this is what we'll be training at contact. And I'm only going to select torso side bend, and I'm going to set this to 25 degrees, keep the tolerance at 8 degrees. So you'll start to notice that my bend at heel strike, my side bend at the turn, and side bend at contact are all within a few degrees of each other, which is really important as we start to train this connected swing. So as you can see, I have heel strike, turn, contact, and the next step is to launch and train all activities. So as you can see, this is my 3D avatar, and as I move, we see the movement here on the screen. So first thing I want to do now is calibrate.
Calibration in 2, 1. Calibration complete.
And the next thing I want to do is link these exercises so I can kind of train in a real progression here. So I'll start training now. So you can see that as I hit each of my parameters, and I was really, having trouble getting to the first one, but I would start to get those visual and auditory cues, and that would allow me to continue to move to the next position. A rep would count down, and in a normal training session, I would probably do this exercise, 3 sets of 10 reps each. So now I'll drop in a video of me actually doing this live so you can have a better understanding of what that looks like. Okay, so as I mentioned before, there were 2 opportunities for improvement with this player's swing. The second characteristic that we noticed was that, this player was not creating enough X-factor stretch or separation in the swing. So separation is basically the difference in turn between the pelvis and torso rotation at any point in the swing. This number will vary from player to player based on their mobility and body type, but it is a crucial metric for coiling energy in your body and then uncoiling that for maximum power output. So we want to make sure that this player is in the best position to succeed based on their movement capabilities and their profile. So for this player profile, we found that they were a hypermobile athlete, but still weren't creating much X-factor stretch in the swing. And, many coaches like to see a player's maximum X-factor around first move. So that's what we'll train today in biofeedback. So I'm going to remove these. And again, we'll be using a PVC pipe as an aid. The 5-foot pipe will be placed in the ground behind us with both hands gripping it in an attack position. And as we create the separation, the PVC will, start to bend, and we can begin to feel our core start to really tighten and coil up. So we're back on the training builder screen now. You can see we have a blank slate to the right there. And, after my swings, we've noticed that my swings are the player swings that I'm working with. They were only creating around 5 degrees of separation at first move, which based on the mobility was too low. So we're going to want to work on increasing that number. So we'll load up alignment, and we're going to edit that and change the name again. We'll do X factor at first move. We'll edit the torso turn to -20 with a tolerance of 3. So we'll make it difficult on the hitter here. And then we are going to select pelvis turn, and pelvis turn will be -5 with a tolerance of 5. So right there, you can really see that I'm trying to get myself or the player that we're working with to create separation that's around 15 degrees because that's the difference of the 2 metrics that I set there, and that's a parameter that we think this player is capable of doing and will be successful doing so. So we'll close this. And we'll launch. So as you can see, this training aid really forced me to fire my pelvis independently of the torso to create that separation. You can throw on the metrics to get a better visual of that, and really start to create that separation and really feel that movement that we're trying to train here. So here's a video of me actually training this drill.